these are your edges, correct? But you have things on the periphery of a center, so they become your peripheral devices. Now, what happens is sometimes there are connectivity issues, and many of you know cloud computing already. You heard of cloud kitchens, your iPhone devices, Apple devices. They ask you if you want to upload stuff onto the cloud. They are your stuff. Your data. You can access the cloud to get them back anytime. But they're a cloud because your device doesn't have enough space to carry that data. So many of you are aware of this. Now, with edge computing, what happens is, apart from just plainly uploading stuff through the internet onto the cloud, each of these edge or the peripheral devices, they also have some hardware onto them. Okay, and those are called your edge devices, which are included with your machines. Okay, with your systems, your machines already there. So they don't always depend on the internet, because on the ship, you know how it is. Internet is limited, restricted, or something like that. So there will be some information exchange, and uh, in two ways they help, because in terms of faster transmission and more localized processing, and not just cloud processing, so that's faster. And also in terms of the data that can be held locally versus the data that you have to send to the cloud. So a lot of data you can hold, see, closer to the edge devices, reducing latency and enabling real-time insights. Okay, now this will be a bit more difficult, because it is the hybrid. As you know what hybrid stands for, they integrate two different types of systems. So this is combining edge computing and cloud computing to even further leverage the benefits of both kinds of architectures or frameworks in this industry 4.0. Got it? I'm sure it's not very easy to understand, but just like I said, pause, read, and move on. Okay, we've spoken a lot about autonomous ships. Please check out CFAR and Rolls Royce, their autonomous ambitions. And this is how automation is changing shipping. Reduce costs, obviously, lowering labor costs. This is obvious. They say gentle on the environment, but we don't know. There is much to it. There's much to it. Then, out of the scope of this presentation, improved reliability. Okay, so it eliminates the possibility of human error, of course, because if humans are not there, things are going autonomously, human error, and therefore reducing maintenance downtime, like breakdown maintenance. This is not talking about preventive maintenance, breakdown maintenance, and it definitely decreases the safety risks. Again, remotely controlled, semi-autonomous, fully autonomous, self-explanatory. This you see they put a small remote control out here for you to understand. How AI is assisting shipping crews. Navigation we already spoke about. Identifying hazards and optimizing routes. AI algorithms for decision support. Data sciences. And going green, reducing fossil fuels mainly. Okay. That's the word for your oil and coal. Coal, of course, it's used in thermal plants on shore, ships. used to run on coal when there were steamships. Okay. And operating costs, a win-win situation for shipping companies. Benefits of autonomous shipping, again, it's just going through all the points once again, refreshing what has already been spoken about. Improved environmental sustainability. 6 points. And there are challenges. Now this out here, this is very tricky. This will take time. The lack of regulations possesses a challenge to the development of autonomous shipping because they're subject to international, national, and regional maritime regulations. What happens is, like, you can go to a port which is very advanced in all these matters. They have the infrastructure for that, and they expect your ship to keep up with their requirements, which may not always be possible. So that is one challenge. And infrastructure wise, remote areas, talking about, some in remote areas can be expensive. Okay, this, if you're in the tanker trade, you will know that some VLCCs and huge tankers, they go to such places where, when you're trying to go for shore leave, you have to go long distances to get to a civilized part of town. To And so this becomes a challenge too, because then not always all the software engineers and the technicians would like to live in those areas. So if your ship needs help with some technical matters and you think you get a service technician to come on board, you might you might end up in a port where these service technicians are not available, or they're very expensive to send across from wherever they like to live. And security, we spoke about this all again. And definitely, if you're a ship manager, reading all these challenges can bring a lot of frustration to you. Um, if you're not a ship manager, you just hope that because of all these challenges, some things will not be made into compulsory mandatory requirements. You just hope on that, and you don't have to be so tech savvy to handle all these things. Correct? Right. Let's just quickly move on. It's become a long video now. Right. Future of autonomous shipping. Oh, there's future as well. Haha. Number two, fleet of drone ships. I've been offering a free drone to anyone who purchases my safety Man.T.RAs. Uh, so yeah, for smaller vessels, there are small drones, marine drones, which come as less than $300, and there are the more advanced ones. So a drone on your vessel can also help in reducing movements within your vessel as well, if you're on a big ship, of course. Smart shipping containers, this was one of the first things we spoke about. RFIDs, putting installing RFID devices inside containers. See, now you heard of Internet of Things. Now listen to this, Internet of Ships. How much you are learning in one presentation. Thank you again, Captain Bhushan and the others, Captain Maji. Uh, Revolutionary ship designs, new designs. Okay, they're speaking about one particular ship in particular, Windskip. because this would have been some European way. That's how they pronounce wind, wind, which uses wind to move along rather than combustible fuel and propulsion systems. Of sailing vessels. Now, even some ships have these huge sails, and I have actually seen some sails which have solar. They have uh, uh, they have some kind of fiber into it which catches energy from the sun. So the flexible solar fibers, let's call it that, which use the wind definitely as a sail, but they also get electricity from your sun. So these are all your revolutionary vessel designs.